Hello and welcome to Let's Talk About It. I'm your hostess, Poet Henson. Today is Saturday, March 13th, 2021. Welcome to the show. Thank you guys for continuing to watch my show. We are on our third season, so I'm really excited about that. But before I get into our mix, I'd like to dedicate this music set to hip hop instrumentals. This is off the Volume 9 album, so enjoy. We have so much going on. Gosh, so much has been happening. It's nice to be off of the crazy roller coaster, and now it seems like we're just trying to just pull it all together, get everybody vaccinated so we can get back into our normality of life. So with that, we have so much to talk about. Today, we're going to talk about vaccines, where you can go to get vaccinated. There's certain states that are kind of, falling behind the wheel on information. So, hopefully, I can provide you with some websites to go to if you're experiencing that issue. We're going to talk about voter suppression that's unbelievably still going on in states like Arizona. So we're going to talk about that. Also, George Floyd case and what's going on in that trial. Of course, we learned yesterday that the civil case was settled. So we're going to talk about that. Also, we're going to talk about the stimulus check that was approved. Yay! Everybody's going to get some much needed assistance and just moving forward. We're also going to talk about a little bit of sports, some NBA, some NFL, and last but not least, of course, we're going to talk about business. We're moving out of the pandemic scenario and into our relaunch. For those of you that were maybe a little bit stagnant in your business and now you're thinking about, okay, I need to get it going again. We're going to talk about some ideas of how you can, step into a new level of business, because business has changed. So stay tuned, and we will be right back to get into all of this exciting stuff. Okay, guys, so we are back. And like I said, today we've got a lot of things going on within our country. First, big shouts out to President Biden and Vice President Harris for really getting this vaccine distribution ramped up and out there. And so that is one of the things that I wanted to, give recognition to, because we were in a whirlwind before. Although we had the vaccination, there was no distribution. So we have today some breaking news with regards to George Floyd's case. And on one issue, the civil case was settled at $27 million for his family, which honestly is awesome. However, there is the fact of getting paid because of a wrongdoing. And that helps, but it doesn't really solve the problem. I don't know how you guys feel about that. But it's just not, you just can't keep, writing checks because you have, officers that are mistreating people of color. It has to be corrected, because at the end of the day, where does that money come from? That's taxpayer dollars. That's our money. So we're actually paying contributing to the problem instead of let's look at accountability. Let's look at reprimand. How can you send a message that will detour any officer, anybody of authority from taking advantage of their authority and just using it to murder people? That's the message that we need to get across. Breaking news. We discussed a little bit earlier about George Floyd and his case, and it all leads to voting. And as I always have said, how important voting is. And it looks like, it doesn't only look like, but it is, that there are people that are trying to keep you from voting because they know that the numbers outweigh the number of people that would actually vote for a certain party. We'll just put it that way. And they realize that there's more people that will vote Democratic than will vote Republican. And so how do they change that outcome? They create laws. Specifically Arizona, what's going on in Arizona is, oh my goodness, they have created over 20 laws to suppress people in Arizona from voting, to keep them from voting. And if you don't believe me, look it up. You can Google it. It is there. It's all over the news. Voter suppression, unfortunately, has been going on for years. Texas, Georgia are like number 1 and 2 of voter suppression. And so we have to realize that we have to continue to vote. And not only that, read, educate yourself as to who you're voting for and what you're voting for. What do the laws mean? That's very important because sometimes language is written in one direction, but it's tricky, and then you vote for that, and that's not exactly what you thought you were voting for. And so those are things that we have to be very careful about. There's a lot of controversy going on in our country. You can see it for yourself. You can see how one party tells you the facts, the truth, the real story. Another party will not tell you the truth, the facts, and the real story. They're changing the story, to that is more appealing to their favor. And so everybody has a right to choose the party that they support. And unfortunately, we have a group of people that are really not looking out for the rights of Americans, of all Americans, and so when you look at that, that's part of the push. Of course, there's everybody, I would say everybody. Nobody wants to be poor. Nobody wants to not be able to provide for their kids. Not everybody wants to be rich, but people don't want to be poor. They want to at least be able to survive every day, have food on the table, be able to pay their bills. And what we have seen, that there are people that don't want that. They want you to stay under the poverty level. They want you to make less than $8 an hour. Um, and so when you look at voting, when I go back to that, it all it all works together. You have to vote for somebody who is looking out for you and your family, not for big corporations and how they can reduce their taxes. You know, there's more of us in this country that are in the upper class, middle class, just below middle class, lower class, what have you. We're all across the board here. And everybody is trying to do a little bit better, you know, or a lot better. They're pushing, trying to do that. And so when you have a force that is trying to keep you down, you have to look at that for what it is. What do you want for yourself? What do you want for your family? And so when you look at people that, oh, they're only for this number one, uh, this particular party, it has to be this party. Well, in my book, it has to be the party that is looking out for me and my people, or all people. That's looking out for the benefit of people, everybody, not just one race, everybody. And so that's where we are. We don't have to let our communities divide. We can demand that we put people into office that maintain those fundamental ideologies. And so, with that, we're going to move right along because, of course, that subject can take up the whole entire show, right? Okay, so we are back and we're going to talk about vaccinations and where you can go to get vaccinated. There is a site called carbonhealth.com. And when you log on to the site, there's really no logging on, it's just typing it in, going there. You click on your location and it will provide you with all of the locations that are near your zip code where you can get a vaccine. And it is also available for all the states. So it's just not for California. Any state, you click on your state and it will give you the information that you need. So be sure to look out for that. Also, we are going to talk about our business in our next set. So stay tuned for that, and we will be right back. Okay, so we are back with our sports update, and I just want to give you Laker fans, Clipper fans, a quick update as to what the standings are as of today. We have, for our Eastern Conference, we have the top three teams. Number one, the Philadelphia 76ers are number one in the East with 26 wins and 12 losses. Wow. Brooklyn Nets are number two, and their team is stacked, as you know. They have been just balling, and they're just one game behind the 76ers with 25 and 13. And number three is the Milwaukee Bucks with 23 and 14. Now, right below that is the Miami Heat. And who knows what can happen? I mean, Miami has been really just balling. I love to watch them play. On the West, we have Utah Jazz in the number one seat today. Phoenix Suns coming in at number two at 25 and 11. Lakers coming in at number 3 at 25-13. Clippers are number 4. And of course, one of my favorite West teams is the Portland Trail Blazers. And they're actually coming in at number 6. But you know what? You just never know, a win or loss here, all of a sudden you're in the top 3. So it'll be interesting to look to see what happens, in the coming weeks as we begin to approach our playoff season. So that's going to be really exciting. And as we move into our NFL draft, gosh, we have so many exciting players that are coming into the forefront, that are getting ready to launch their NFL career. And I did have the privilege of meeting a few of the draft picks, which I will discuss that in later shows as we get closer to that time frame. So with that, that will end our sports segment, and we're going to talk about next is business. And how do we relaunch our business and get it back booming again? Okay, so stay tuned and we'll be right back. And not only business, finance, just income, all of it. You've had a lot of time to think about maybe some changes that you need to implement, some different types of business strategies, maybe adding some things to your business or removing some things from your business. Some things that maybe you realized were just no longer functionable. And sometimes we don't know that until something happens and we realize, gosh, why were we even doing that? It really wasn't making us a lot of money. And so moving forward, business has changed, to say the least, right? And so now we have a huge internet market. We have a huge delivery market where you can get every item that you could ever want, down to your groceries, delivered to your home. And so what does that mean for your business? Well, that means that either transitioning at least all of the information about your business and putting it into some type of digital format, whether it be online, creating your website, whether it be texting or like one of those mass texting ventures where you're sending information, or mass email. There's all types of platforms out there. And so it does take time to research which platform is good for you. If you're a hairstylist, I always use hairstylist or insurance agent or a realtor. Those types of positions, you're selling, you have contact with people, and you need to keep that contact. As a hairdresser, it's not only marketing what you can do, but it's also marketing what your service, marketing. Once you get that client into your chair and she's assured that your salon is safe and healthy, and now you can proceed with your service. And so this pandemic, for a lot of you, I know it's probably shattered your business, and you're like, oh my gosh, what do I do? People aren't coming into the salon anymore. So how do I reach my people? So I hope that during this pandemic that you have kept some form of communication with your clients, and not just for hairstylists, for anybody that services people and that has some type of business. You want to keep in touch with your clients. You want to uh, send them happy birthday notes. That goes a long way when we've been isolated from people, and all of a sudden your realtor or your insurance agent or your hairstylist sends you a happy birthday note. Hey, how you doing? And that's your opportunity to say, look, it's your birthday. Come on in. If you're a hairdresser, hey, I'm offering birthday special. Your hairstyle and your haircut is free for any other service that you get. So if you get a color, I'm only going to charge you for the color, not going to charge you for the haircut or the style or whatever you decide to structure. But what that does is that invites your client to come, to realize, hey, I'm going to get a deal. It's my birthday. I mean, think about it. When it's your birthday, you can go eat for free. You can go to Red Robin, Denny's, all of these restaurants offer a free meal at their restaurant. And so, why do they do that? Not only to acknowledge your birthday, but that gives them a chance to offer you something else to get you to come back. And so you want to use that same strategy with your clients. Use holidays and events to promote sales, selling items or selling a service. You know, that's an ideal time to get people interested in something new. You have a new product, you have a new hairstyle that you want to launch in your hairstyling book. Offer discounts. Offer discounts to people if they refer people. A lot of the fundamental marketing strategies still apply. And for those of you that are just starting out, let's say if you just got your license, you're a new hairstylist, we just had a pandemic, and now you're just out there like, oh my gosh, I went to school for this, and now everything's shut down. What do I do? Now, I'm sure when you were in beauty school, you were doing people that come into the beauty school to get their hair done. And so those specific clients that ask for you, that's an opportunity to reach out to those clients. Hey, I'm graduating. I'm going to be doing this or that. I can remember when I graduated, I captured all of my own clients and let them know, for the first month or until I find a place that I want to do hair at, I'm going to provide home service. I'm going to come to your home. I'll do your hair. I'll cut it there. And that's what I did. This was like 30 some years ago. So with the pandemic, you want to be safe. You want your client to be safe. And so you want to find ways that you can still create that customer service to your client as we move into a different phase. And so with everybody on their phones and computers and all of that nonstop, that's your avenue. And that's actually quicker than actually going person to person. You know, for those of you that are insurance agents, when you were going knocking on doors or calling people, cold calling, you know, you have email, you have people that are actually looking for insurance, you know, so it makes sense to, you know, join groups of people that are doing the same types of things that you do, and to talk to them and exchange ideas to help you better your business. So that was going to wrap up our business segment today. As always, if you have any business questions, you can reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to, you know, give you solutions and help you to you know, progress in your business. Sometimes you get stuck and you just you know, kind of want to talk over maybe your strategy with somebody. So again, reach out to me if you need to. Enjoy the rest of your day as we close out this segment. I thank you all so much for watching. I cannot wait to get back to the beach life and vacation life and all of that, as I'm sure most of you are like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to get back to that wonderland, not winter wonderland, but just the wonderful feel of vacationing. So you guys take care. Enjoy the rest of your day and your weekend, and we will talk about it next week. Bye bye.